Hello, my name is Dave Booth and I work for ITSTE. I'm in the IIS group for ITSTE and this is my submission to the Ignition Grant. This is my Jeep. This is the axle I've been building that's going to go on my Jeep. This is what I call a donut. I like to refer to it as an extreme terrain donut. What, you may ask? Well, you can't eat this donut, but it is vital to your survival in extreme conditions. Let me explain. This little piece of rubber goes over the axle right here. I'll take an old axle. This is from a 95 Jeep Cherokee. And doesn't it look like a donut? Notice all the corrosion behind that donut. For my new axle that I'm going to put on my Jeep, this axle is beefier. I've welded in inserts, so the diameter of this axle is different than a stock axle. So I had to come up with some modifications. One being that I had to create my own donut or axle seal. This axle seal is very important. I'm going to just demonstrate because I have the axle open here. This is an air locker that would lock this axle. That's what this hose is right here. But as I turn, you can see the axle moving. As I turn the axle, you see this rotation. Now for this Jeep, it's an internal combustible engine. It's an inline six. But imagine the future where these are electric motors and the rotation of electric motors is known for the RPM, the rotations per minute, to be significantly faster than these old guys, right? So this becomes even more important because as this breaks down, as you see, over time, when contaminants get past and into the axle, this acts almost like sandpaper wearing away the axle until it ultimately fails. So a failure in the donut is a failure in the axle, and you won't be able to get to where you go or want to go. So let me pull out one of these guys. This is one of my new axles. This is the seal that I had to custom create for it. At the lab, we have the ability to create things like this and with 3D printers and change the components and materials used in those 3D printers, polymers, other alternate materials. We can test these things. But then, after we create an axle seal, how do we test this in a closed environment? I also propose with this grant to build a testing platform, a closed system, and I have a diagram that demonstrates this, where we can introduce extreme conditions in the form of salt water, sand, dust, silt, and then change this rotation at higher and higher RPMs, monitor over time until it fails. What I suggest or propose for this closed system is an electric motor, because we can monitor the RPMs, plus it's more in line with what the future may look like for these guys and existing in extreme conditions. So once again, extreme terrain donuts. That's my submission for the Ignition Grant. Thank you for your time.